and had similar, albeit slightly disappointing seasons last year. Jose Abreu and JD Martinez, both 30 and 100, over 162 for their career. Both guys that have led not only their league, but the entire majors in RBI in a season before. Carlos, for you, it's interesting. You look at the StatCast stuff. Abreu, a much higher hard hit rate, but JD Martinez still had the edge in barrel rate, so still lots of line drives. My question for you guys, is there any hesitation if you're a contender signing either one of these 35-year-olds to hit in the middle of your lineup, maybe fifth, let's say, for a team with World Series aspirations?
I think there's value. I think there's value in these guys. These guys know how to do it. They know how to get the barrel to the baseball. Yes, there was a decline in their performance, but for the right amount of money and the right contract, they contribute. They're going to give you good at-bats, and they're going to make everybody around them better.
Agreed. It would have to be the right fit for those guys for sure. It's a team that's ready to win. You know, you're probably not going to get a lot of interest in players like that by, teams that are rebuilding. But if you're ready to win, you need a run producer in the middle of your lineup, a guy that can play first base, and Jose Abreu. You're a little bit more limited, I think, with JD, but both of those guys, neither one's going to have a hard time finding work. Let's put it that way.
If I may add this, Matty, Cliff Floyd. Cliff Floyd came over to us in 2008, and you're like, okay, Cliff is a veteran, whatever. Maybe he's not what he used to be. He was money for us in 2008. We went to the World Series.
Cliff Floyd, who just came on here, gave us a generic Mike Trout video, and then bolted after hashtagging up.
I was going to ask you if you needed me to lay out, Matty, but I knew you'd be ready with maybe the best soundboard clip that exists. A little inside, but it is an absolute gem. All right, guys, second matchup here. We'll move over to the pitching side. Jose Quintana and Ross Stripling. Note the subheader here. This is as starting pitchers only. Stripling spent some time in the bullpen, but you look at as starters, basically the same guy in terms of innings pitched per start. The ERA obviously very close. Strikeout rate almost identical. The difference here, Quintana had the lowest home run rate in the league. Stripling still a little bit better than league average in the home run rate, but keeps guys off the base with that very low walk rate. So pretty similar profiles here, guys. My question for you, do you lean more towards the steady track record as a starter for Quintana or the versatility of Stripling? Obviously, he was with the Dodgers for a long time, been in that swing role. You don't figure that either one of these guys are towards the top of a rotation. So what do you prefer, the Quintana track record or Stripling being able to perform in both roles?
I mean, I guess I'll jump in on this one first. That's a really tough question.
I mean, is that really a question?
It is a real question. It's a tough question, too. I like the versatility of Stripling just because I'm always worried if, with the guy that has the walk rate troubles, which Quintana has had that have flared up throughout his career, I think this is the steadier option, actually, Keith. I'll kind of, take your logic and twist it around to the other guy. Stripling can start, not to mention I think there's fewer innings in that arm and shoulder than there are with Quintana, and I'd probably want the guy that doesn't walk as many if I had to choose.
I'm with you right there, Matty. And look, I want to get even technical about it. The way that he utilizes the elevated fastball and throws the off-speed down in the zone that looks exactly like the fastball. I'm like, that plays, all right? And the ability to be able to put him in the fireman role, right? Whenever there's a fire that needs to be put out, you can grab him, and he can also start for you whenever you need him. So, yeah, I'm going to go with Stripling.
And again, but neither guy's going to have a hard time finding work this year. They're both going to sign.
Yes,
They're both desirable players for sure.
All right, guys, back to the hitting side now. A couple of third basemen, or at least a former third baseman in one player's case. Obviously a little bit different in the last couple seasons with Carpenter's struggles. Turner much more consistent. But you look at the career, basically the same guy. Go about it a little different way. Obviously, Carpenter more pull power, more walks. Turner a little bit more of a high batting average, all fields approach type of guy. But again, the bottom line for these guys, pretty much identical. And you look at them at their peak this year, again, Turner more of an everyday guy. But in July, Turner had the second best on-base percentage in the league. Carpenter had the second best slugging percentage in the league. So you find the right matchups, you find the right groove that they're in. These guys can still be productive. My question for you, because there seems to be a lot of smoke in both guys' cases, do you expect one or either of them to be back in their primary uniform? Turner re-signing with the Dodgers, and Carpenter perhaps a reunion in St. Louis after his resurgence in the Bronx?
Terrible question. Horrible question.
Got to fill the time somehow, Matty.
No, it's actually a great question because if you were asking me to pick between the two, I would just have to tap out because both of those guys are top of the game for me. Boy, I could see Carpenter returning to the Yankees, actually. I mean, that ballpark, we saw what a healthy Matt Carpenter could do there, and I think that might be more likely than a return even to St. Louis. As far as Justin Turner, they know the value. They know what they have there. I mean, the guy just won the Clemente Award. He's been the heartbeat in that clubhouse for such a long time. Steady at third base. There's not a lot of other places to go to find a everyday quality run producer at that position. So I would say forget about St. Louis. I could see both of those guys going back to the uniforms they finished the season with in 2022.
My goodness, I don't mean to be boring, but I have to agree with you. I think Carpenter returns to the Yankees for a very good contract, probably team-friendly. He would do so because he liked it, he enjoyed there, he blossomed there. And that was kind of a wild card that they took on Carpenter, and he performed. Now, with Turner, he has to return to the Dodgers. Talking about him being the heart and soul of that ball club, perhaps a leader we've heard how much of a leader he is in the clubhouse, and he's been performance. If anything, he's trending in the right direction, even though he had maybe a downtick of performance, this past season. He's just a sure bet. He has to return. I have both of these guys returning to their ball clubs.
It's interesting, though, for Turner, Keith, because the Dodgers declined the option for $16 million. So what happens there? I mean, this is a couple of deals now for him where he's wanted to come back to the Dodgers. They've wanted him to come back, but they've had to get together again on the price. So this is going to be an interesting